Is it true that a lot of men don't take women's illnesses seriously? You make soup for me, I make soup for you. Sounds like your BF has some growing to do. But here's the best part. You can always let him know how you feel about the situation, and if he doesn't respect your view, you have the choice to move on to someone that will. My husband does everything for me when I am sick. Even if what I have is a small cold. He believes me 100% of the time and takes me seriously. I worked on a year-long project about underdiagnosis of women's heart disease. Male doctors don't even take women's heart attacks seriously. That said, a lot of female doctors don't take women's heart attacks seriously either. Keep this in mind if you plan to marry and have his kids. Pregnancy and postpartum are no joke, and then of course normal sicknesses that will happen like this over a lifetime. The current season of the Serial podcast is about the Yale Women's Fertility Clinic and a number of women who underwent procedures there and complained of excruciating pain that was downplayed and written off by the doctors there. It later turned out that a nurse was stealing the fentanyl and replacing it with saline. I'm a guy and I've had so many horrible experiences with male doctors high on ego that I won't deal with a male doc unless I absolutely have to. There are two parts to this. 1. Your boyfriend is an uncommonly large idiot, asshole when it comes to ignoring your illness. 2. Generally speaking, yes. Women do have trouble getting their symptoms to be taken seriously by men to some degree. This is a well-documented issue with male doctors. Crazy how common this experience is. I had the H1N1 back in 2009. I was so bloody sick. High fever. Swimming in sweat. Unconscious for 2 whole days. My BF, the chef, never even made me soup or asked how Elle was feeling, checked up on me. Actually, maybe he did and Elle didn't acknowledge him because I was dead. I finally woke up 2 days later and crawled to the kitchen to get a glass of water. I pleaded with him to go to the store and get me soup and Tylenol. He huffed audibly. I assumed he was really enjoying his time away from me. Factually, women's physical health, illnesses and mental health issues are not taken as seriously as men's by medical professionals. There are many studies on this. Does that translate to individual men being less sympathetic to their partners? Well, again, factually, a man is more likely to leave a partner due to long-term or terminal illness, whereas women stay. A man is more likely to cheat when a woman has a long-term illness or is pregnant. And before people lose their minds and start getting upset, I have a long-term illness and disability that raised its head 7 years into my marriage, and I could not have asked for a better, more supportive, loving husband. I couldn't get through this without him. My sister has type 1 diabetes, and that can be unreasonably impacted by some other health issues she has, and her husband is just the best. In relationships, that's how it's supposed to be. But you've experienced yourself the fact that it is not. In this particular case, your boyfriend wasn't being very caring or thinking. In general though, I think a lot of people, regardless of gender, don't take women's illness as seriously and as well documented. I was misdiagnosed with a labrum tear in my hip for 3 years with constant pain. My sister-in-law went to the hospital with lower right abdominal pain, and they did 3 pregnancy tests before they decided to do a CT to see her appendix was about to burst. I also wonder if women have a higher pain tolerance. Not in all cases, but in general. Is why it is dismissed. Yes. From personal relationships to healthcare, women's suffering is always seen as exaggerated on our part and no cause for true concern. When women are ill to the point that they can't be any use to a man, they're often abandoned by spouses. Yeah, it's true. One of my exes, that I unfortunately decided to waste 6.5 years of my life with, refused to drive me to the hospital when I was only passing blood through my bowels. He was playing Super Smash Bros. With his new friend and didn't want to leave to drive me to the ER. I could barely walk. I was vomiting. I was going in and out of consciousness. The only reason I made it to the hospital was because of a mutual friend. After being in the ER for 7 hours, they discovered that I had an ulcer in my colon from a C. diff infection that was going to perforate my bowel if I didn't go to the hospital for treatment. He never apologized, and I unfortunately dated him for 2 more years after that. Your BF is a prick, but women's health does have a lot of problems. Many people in the medical field don't take it seriously. Yes, and more men tend to leave their wives if they get sick, while the women stay by the men's side. What a lovely reality. It's unfortunate, but some doctors do dismiss women's symptoms too quickly. We need more empathy in healthcare. We suck it up when we're on our periods, so why can't we suck it up all the time? Bit pissed off on your behalf, to be honest. Don't marry him. He's self-centered. Find one with at least a little bit of empathy. Yep. He just told you who he is. Believe him. You're very unlikely to make it to the end of your life without at least a period of disability, and he can't even handle you having a cold.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.